in the state. In fact, because we have been doing this exercise in many cities across India. So we really actually were kind of fortunate to have Shantanu also helping us organize this event with our support. So in fact, I just wanted to kind of give you an understanding that there is a larger mandate for this process. In fact, as an organization, we as a think tank, we Center for Public Policy Research is a think tank which works closely with policies, works closely with the government to improve specific elements on how to improve different aspects, say, of policy reform. So one of these key things which is now has been a lot of debated is the doing business thing. So I'm not going in depth as to the very academic thing of doing business, because that is not the purpose behind why we actually wanted to have this particular seminar in place. So just to give a perspective of what the organization is, we started in 2004 and we have been helping governments at the central level, even at the regional level, from panchayats to local self-governments, to help improve their systems, their governance process, and even shape policies and help even reforms. So, so as I mentioned, one of the key mandates through various initiatives we have, whether it's to the detailed project reports or okay, I think the questions we can keep it aside maybe for the next panel. So if you could kind of give attention to this PPT, so just to give an idea as to what we want to do, because that will set the whole process for the next panels. So that is more important for assets to gather all your inputs. So quickly going into what the organization is in terms of our work. In fact, we have been helping organizations. So this is the larger philosophy behind how we actually work out. So we actually work kind of in a very participant manner. So that is the reason why we wanted to get engaged with people at the local level, so we know exactly how things work and how things do not work. And here, that is one of the major mandates we have, is not to talk about problems and problems. Here we are here to provide solutions also. That is exactly the reasons why we as an institution work and try to kind of help further forward. So I would believe is to kind of, in a sense, is to get inputs, not just about the problems, but also your suggestions and recommendations on how this problem could be tackled. And that could be actually added, as I said, maybe we as a research organization, since we work on the research, we'll be able to kind of pull out and kind of pull all your resources, all your suggestions, and try to kind of make it a kind of a clear-cut, well-defined research report which we could table to the government and then try to influence the government in whatever measure. So this is the effort which we are taking at all the states and all the cities. That is how we actually do it. So it's not a very academic exercise we are planning. So it is a real serious effort behind our organization in terms of helping improve the governance, helping improve, bring in reforms. So I'll just quickly go into some of the things which we have been as an organization we have been doing. We have 4 key study centers. We have Center for Urban Studies, which looks into urban reforms. We have Center for Comparative Studies, which looks into modeling. And we have Center for Strategies Studies, which looks into national security aspects. And we have a CPPR Academy, which trains policy researchers, even councillors. We train even municipal legislators on how to kind of understand and kind of help react to certain issues and challenges at the governance level. So that is a larger mandate we as an institution have. So we operate in across Pan India. So we have had a lot of works which we were able to successfully implement with the help of government, with the help of the local partnership. So now this key thing which we have in kind of the reason why we are here is about the ease of doing business initiative. So I just quickly go into what exactly we would like to do in the coming panel session. So this is a larger perspective. We are here. In fact, we have been doing this exercise, as I mentioned, in many other cities. We have completed the same level of interactions, which I believe some of the panelists already shared. We had interactions with industry, we had interactions with government, we had actually come out with white papers, we have come out with policy briefs in other states. We have been actually seriously engaging with some of the committee which is constituted for easing doing business in many other states, especially in Chennai, in Kerala, Karnataka, Telangana, and many other states. So we are doing this same initiative. We are trying to help with the tie-up with local partners also. We are trying to kind of influence a larger process, that is larger purpose of ease of doing business. So when I say ease of doing business, what I mean is not a very kind of a word which is coined for the purpose of ease of doing business. There is a serious level effort behind it, and we are here to identify the specific issues which we could work on and then try to kind of do that. So what we believe is, instead of working on hundreds of issues, I believe there are a lot of issues, a lot of problems which could have to be tackled. What we are doing is, we call out the priority issues which the industry is facing at each region, and then work on that issues, come out with the solutions, and then try to help the government to help them to kind of come out with the reforms which will ease the process involved. So that is the way in which we are trying to approach, rather than kind of talking about hundreds of things which is not, maybe will not be easy at the short term thing, but maybe the long term thing will take up issues and then work on it. So that is why we have identified sectors, we have identified priority issues to kind of work on. So now coming back to the ease of doing business initiative in this state, Uttar Pradesh, because I believe all of you might be knowing how UP is performing in different aspects, whether it be in the economy, whether it be in the manufacturing, and I know that Uttar Pradesh stands for many aspects, and they have had a long tradition of attracting investments, and they are improving it all. So initial interactions, I see that people have very good opinion about UP in certain specific areas also, which is a good sign. In fact, when I, frankly speaking, there has been a lot of negative opinion even in other states from certain entrepreneurs. But it's good to see the positive vibe actually, and there is a positive, pessimistic, optimistic point of view from the entrepreneurs also in terms of the reforms, in terms of the actions which the government is taking. So I believe this is the right opportunity, the right strategy for us to kind of take it forward. What we are here to try to do is, through this workshop, is to collate enough opinions, collate the specific suggestions or recommendations which we can further work on, and then try to kind of tell the government these are the things which we would like you to kind of implement. So that's exactly the process. And then, as Mr. Anissa was initially clearly mentioned, see, these entrepreneurs who define the economy. So unless the entrepreneurs are really happy or really progressing or are able to kind of generate income, generate revenue and help build the process, I don't see any point in actually talking about economy, boosting economy and bringing investments. So it's all about inducing, helping, easing people perspective, easing the business climate, so that any people who wants to set up a business, who want to operate, as someone mentioned about compliance, who can easily comply with the laws of the land, that is how we would like, we would see the progress we can actually perceive in the state. So it is with that mandate, we would like for people like you to kind of help us out in terms of collecting and generating opinions, shaping up the policy suggestions and all these things. So I don't think I need to talk about the ease of doing business, the World Bank report, because, and we, frankly speaking, we are not just guided by the rankings alone, because we have a larger mandate about doing business, and there are only few parameters mentioned in the World Bank report. But just for a perspective, to give an idea as to what are the things which state should work on. So you can see that there are areas which are the weak points of the state of UP. That is land allotment, environment compliance and labor compliance. So maybe these could be the certain areas which maybe we are also trying to debate this thing in the later panels as to how we could improve, how to kind of mitigate some of the issues, how to kind of help remove the barriers of which the businesses are kind of witnessing in your state. So, and already we had people from the government who has already talked about some of the initiatives the government has done, especially the single window system and the other processes already there. So these are the processes the government is doing. So what we are also doing is, similarly other states have done considerable work in helping or improving the ease of doing business climate. In fact, maybe the state might need to kind of spur up or kind of strengthen some of their initiatives in ease of doing business climate. So what we are trying to do is, we are trying to give a whole holistic view of how other states are also performing, how other states are actually improving, and trying to take up some learnings from other states. So this is a kind of a co-learning exercise which we are planning. That is why we as an organization, which we could also help in that process. We also try to bring the learnings which we have from our interaction, from our work in other states, and which maybe we could, I won't say replicate, but which could offer some level of learnings for the state to kind of work on. So I don't say, that's why I said I purposely didn't mention replicate, because the local conditions will differ from state to state, even from region to region. But since the systems are largely the same, there could be certain processes which we could actually take out and try to work on. So even the single window system, even we had a kind of understanding of how a single window system is working in different states. What we understand is that in each state is working in a different manner, because it's all about who is the person behind the single window system, which really dictates how it's performing. So many of the states have actually implemented single window system, but it's still on paper. It has really not been able to kind of capture many of the crucial things which the businesses really want. So some of the licenses, some of the clearance, compliance procedures not still being dealt with single window system. So maybe what we would wish is get a perspective of how the UP state would like to see this thing functioning. Similarly, we would like to see how the other regulations need to function, how it needs to improve, how it needs to perform, whether we should have a license at all in certain place, whether we should reduce the time, the cost involved. Anissa was mentioning about the cost of compliance. This is a same issue which was raised in some other states also. The cost is high in complying with certain of the regulations. So how do we reduce the cost? Whether we could actually reduce the compliance itself. So these are certain aspects which we can actually deliberate and discuss and come out with clear-cut, fruitful suggestions which could be further take it up on. So another point is maybe which I would like to personally discuss about the self-certification aspect, which maybe our project director will also explain, which is one important thing which the government has actually come out in the first time about self-certification. So this has been even aggressively pursued in certain states. So to what extent and to what all provisions we can have self-certification now. So these are few things which we can also take up and discuss later. And then just want to kind of wrap up what we would like to do and what the kind of initiatives we are doing. So we have actually come out with this platform called easybizindia.com. In fact, this platform is capturing many of the things which we have been discussing till now. So I believe some of the opinions which you have generated is the real thing which we are looking for in the website. Because I see a lot of, maybe instead of confining these discussions to a select audience, we want to kind of put it on the public domain, so further people from other states, even from investors, can also discuss and bring in ideas. This is the platform we are trying to envisage. At the same time, we are also having a database about all the policies, all the rules, regulations, what is the process of starting, operating, and even exiting of businesses. Whether it's the startups, whether it be small scale industry, whether it be large scale industry, we are trying to kind of bring a big database into this platform. We are working on this thing, and currently this site is up and running, but now it's confined to 3 states, that's Tamil Nadu, Karnataka and Kerala, but we are working on other states also to add their portfolios and all the related information there too. So I also believe maybe I see similar interest generated from the audience also. So anyone who is interested to be a part of the initiative, we are clearly welcoming this with wholehearted hand because I see this is a concerted effort. In fact, I don't see it's a very it's my initiative. It's our initiative in a sense because I see a lot of people who are looking for information, looking about how other states are performing, how we could actually improve certain things which maybe from the government point of view they could actually look at how this state is performing, how they have implemented it, and they could also replicate some of these provisions in their state. So these are certain things which we are trying to build. So some of the platforms from the tabs in the website is largely aimed at this particular kind of objective also. So finally, I'm not going to this thing because in fact this is exactly what maybe we would discuss it later. These are few points which we have been discussing in many states. Some of them would be applicable here, some may not be applicable here. So it's up to you to discuss and decide whether we should discuss it in a long-term manner or put it aside as such. So I'll just give you a brief small pointers which our colleague Prashant Janna will be taking forward. So he will also kind of give few points which further we can actually work upon. So I just put it down in pointers, some other things which we can take it as a panel. So I'm reiterating the fact that this is not a kind of a criticism session as such. This is a very, I would say, a constructive session which we would like to put in place. The thing is that, of course, I see there are problems. That is a fact. The thing is that how these problems should be addressed. That is the key thing. And how the system should react and should revolve and help kind of improve to accommodate some of these reforms. So these are the few major keywords which I would look forward when we have a discussion. And I am sure given the kind of very learned audience we have, we'll see a lot of points generated from this thing and I believe we can have a very flow. So thank you for your time. I'm just sharing you the contact details also, but just kind of keep everyone in loop the same time. So if you have any specific questions you want us to specifically get addressed, you can definitely get in touch with us also. I think I'll hand it over to Mr. Prashant Janna. If you have any questions, just let me know now itself. I think we are short of time, so I believe I'll hand it over to Mr. Prashant.